What we're going to be doing today is a fun video. 2020 is over, and I want to go back and take a look at my top 5 favorite champions. These are going to be my favorite champions that I personally enjoy. This isn't a power list, okay? It's not going to be Sifi at the number 1, Rolos at the number 2. We're not going that boring way. Instead, this is going to be my top 5 favorite of 2020 based upon how much I either use them or how much I just really enjoy the character. There's a lot of characters out there that I think are really, really fun, enjoyable, or just interesting characters that I want to put the spotlight on as my personal favorite. With that being said, if you like this channel, consider subscribing to see me again, or like the video if you just want to help me out. I love y'all, and since it's a fun video, let's roll the fun intro for this one.
Well, pod. Welcome, well, pod. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Darth Microtransactions channel, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. Well, pod, welcome back.
Number 5 for me is easily Deathhound. If you haven't actually seen this meme, Deathhound himself is a god, and I was the first one, that is right, the first one to realize it. We were looking through commons, and I said, wait a minute, what the heck is this? Why does a common have ignore defense 100% built in with shield and block damage buffs ignoring as well? That's nuts, okay? And on top of that, we realized he actually hits really hard. So it's kind of a giant meme. He's not good because you can't ascend him. People who saying you should level him are wrong. It is a joke, but he is very fun, okay? And it is quite a meme because he does actually hit really hard. Once again, he only hits hard because of the gear, but the fact that this character is built to allow you to showcase a common hitting harder than a legendary is quite hilarious in and of itself, and I really enjoyed the meme of this guy as well as streaming with them. Number 5 for me is Deathhound the common. Number 4 for me is actually Tomblord. I got him fairly early on my account, and I didn't really realize his true potential until I got accuracy gear and was able to get a 100% crit rate on him. The gear I have on now is just some stuff I threw on him, but I have had my best gear on Tomblord, and I personally believe that he's probably one of the most underrated legendaries. The reason is, if you look, the poisons are ridiculous. He gets to place 5% poison, 4 poisons on everybody, 4. Okay, which is nuts. And then his AoE here not only resets turn meter if they're below half, but it also does AoE defense down and AoE decrease attack. These are really good, okay? I mean, it has fantastic moves, and he does a triple hit on basic, which also does decrease speed. So in things like the Fire Knight's really useful. He got a lot better in usefulness against the Doom Tower as well. Personally, I actually think Tomblord is slept on a little bit. Now, it's not really supposed to be a power ranking or anything like that, so him being strong and underrated really shouldn't fall into the equation here. It's more so about the fact that I've actually really enjoyed using this guy. I got him early, and he helped me out a lot more than I thought he was going to help me out. And to be honest, there's something about his aesthetics that even though I really didn't like the bronze look when I got him, the longer it goes, I don't know, he's really starting to find a place for me in my heart. And that might be because he's one of the first legendaries I got. I think he was the second legendary I ever got, but I really think he is better than I originally thought, and I think he's getting better over time. All right, number 3 is actually shared between 2 characters. It's Lanicus and Longbeard. And the reason for this is, and I couldn't decide which one I really wanted to put up here because I like them both for different reasons, but they both do one thing which I think is really, really exciting, which is the charging all of your allies in. You know, you run your dudes into attack. Granted, Longbeard does 4, and Lanicus, if you look here at the charge, does 3. So Longbeard has like the objectively better charge, and he has weaken and all that, but Lanicus has, on this move here, if you look here, it also increases the duration of ally buff. So it's kind of like, which one do you want? But for me, number 3 is really going to be more the move of like charging your allies in. I found this extremely useful because you can pair the charging in with characters where you need them to do their basic attack for something. Or things on like Fire Knight, right? So you charge people in and Cold Heart hits 4 times with the charge. The second Cold Heart hits 4 times, suddenly the whole shield's down or something, right? The charge aspect is so good in the game. I believe it's as useful as like a defense down. You know, it's a utility that you put in your belt. You don't use it as much as defense down, right? But when you need it, it's really nice to have that type of tool to pull out your tool belt. There's other characters that do this, and they're adding more into the game. Catacomb Counselor, I believe, is one that charges as well. So there is other options that are not just legendary, but really having a charge, I think, is quite cool. Longbeard's probably my favorite out of all of the charges, though, in my personal opinion. Number 2 for me is actually Allure. I mean, first and foremost, Allure, as you guys know, has always been my favorite model of the game, and I think they did a fantastic job on the art. I'd like to meet the person who modeled this character. But on top of it, I also believe that Allure is one of the mistakes they made in the game. And what I mean by mistakes is, back when they were launching the game, they made a whole bunch of characters, right? Like team-wide counterattack, stuff like that. And when they made a bunch of characters, I think they made some mistakes on them by adding some stuff into the game that now whenever they add content, they have to think about this, right? For instance, Allure is one of these characters. On her basic attack, she removes turn meter, 25% on each crit hit. That's effectively 75% just on every single basic, if you just do the really basic math, as long as it doesn't get resisted, etc. And for that reason, Allure, if you have her fast enough with crit chance, she can basically lock out somebody 100% of the time as long as you have enough turn meter generated, right? And for that reason, I think Allure kind of limits the amount of content that can be added, because if they add something in that can just be spam decreased turn meter by Allure, it's automatically like just dead content on arrival. Or they have to do what they did with some of the Doom Tower bosses, where it's you have to build the turn meter reduction into the equation, but you have to do it in such a way that if someone just has Allure, they can't just lock it out, okay? And some of these bosses are that way, where if you just have Allure, you can do it. I like this personally because I think it helps newer players or people who just have an epic, right? I like characters like this. I'm saying it's a mistake probably from game development point of view, but from us as the user, it's fantastic for them to have this type of character in the game. I think Allure is awesome, and she does get the credit she is due. The number 1 for me is, of course, Mountain King. I'm not going to go into my whole story with Mountain King, but if you do know me, I've owned a lot of Mountain Kings. Currently, I own 2 of them, and the thing about Mountain King is it was one of their first characters that they really attempted to implement pure damage. All of his moves are single target based, either ignores defense or goes through shield and block debuff, right? And this basic here is when you kill people, he gets more damage. The reason he has a lot of health now is when he was released, I was giving him to do a review on, right? I basically shit all over the character and said he's not great. They buffed his HP after that and made him more of a tank-based and added an HP ratio, which took him from complete garbage to actually fairly decent, especially in the arena when you can get his resistance really high and all that. You can see I have 453 resistance, 60,000 health, etc. This is just, I was just trying out the new gear. But I do think that Mountain King is one of the most fun characters, but in my opinion, he's also one of the worst feeling characters at the same time, because he is all about just pure single target damage. And while they had to kind of make him tanky to make him fit a role, it shows that unfortunately single target high damage doesn't work unless it's something like Cold Heart, where you can just nuke and decrease turn meter, etc. Basically, Mountain King was kind of a failure of their initial plan to make him pure damage and just have someone that's nuking. That doesn't really work in this game for single target damage unless it's based upon max HP or something, because if you make the number too high, he's unbalanced in PvP. If you make the number too low, he's trash in PvE. If you give him too much health, he's too tanky while doing damage. Why would you run anyone else? It's a hard combo for them to get just right. I do think they found a decent balance with adding the HP ratio and making him tanky, and he's found his use in Arena now, and personally, he's going to be my favorite character of 2020. Just because of how much I've used this guy. I've had so many videos on him. We've had the hilarious memes around him with me getting them from Plarium and all that. I've just really enjoyed the hell out of owning a bunch of Mountain Kings in 2020. So I want to say at the end of this video, a couple things. One of which is thanks for watching. But most of all, I want to know what your top 5 of the year are. And keep in mind, these top fives are not your top 5 most strong. Okay, that's why Deathhound's on the list. I want to hear your top 5 favorite, most fun, the ones you liked from this year, Well Pod. So let me know in the comments down below. I'll respond to you. I'll heart the comments, and we'll just have a good time interacting over the YouTube comments. I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe if you want to be part of the Well Pod, I suppose. And with that being said, there's one other thing I need to mention, which is the account giveaway, the Well account giveaway. I recorded this video directly after recording the giveaway of the other videos, and these are getting uploaded in a schedule out because I'm leaving to see my girlfriend. Right now, I'm not at home when I uploaded this video. For that reason, it's going to be on the next video. You will see it. And with that, let me know your top 5. Here's a couple options at the end here for other videos to watch. As is tradition, on the left-hand side, I'm going to put my biggest recommendation, and on the right-hand side is going to be my latest release. I love y'all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.